Okay, so this morning I got kind of a special one. Verge, who happens to be the manager of our little drive-through coffee shop we have in town, her husband is retired, and he has a pickup truck that he bought, and he likes the outdoors, does a lot of hunting and stuff, and always has a topper on his truck. Well, it's a step side, so he searched to the end of the earth to find a topper for his truck, and he finally found one, but it's in the wrong color. So Jim's a great guy, great family. He's a Gold Star dad. He does a lot of things for us at the coffee shop. So he's like Verge's errand boy, I call him. She sends him all over the place to pick up stuff. So he's always been just absolutely wonderful to us. And so I want to bless him with painting this topper to match his truck. So Auto Paint HQ sent me the paint for it, and they did a color match for his truck. So I'm going to turn this thing around. I'm going to show you what I've got. Thing's been sitting outside for a while. Interesting thing about this truck was that it came off of, the guy bought the original Fast and Furious red Ford Lightning. They had all the documentation. When they went down and picked it up, the guy was sharing it with them. And the guy, for some reason, he bought a topper for it, and he had it painted to match, and he put it on that truck for a while. And I asked him, I said, why would he put a topper on the Fast and Furious truck? And he said, well, because he liked to haul stuff. So I thought that was interesting. Why would you haul stuff out of the Fast and Furious Ford Lightning? So anyways, that's a little history about this topper. I mean, the topper obviously wasn't in the movie or anything, but the truck that it was on was the Fast and Furious truck. So I thought that was pretty neat. So let me turn this around. Okay, so yeah, here's this topper. It looks like it's been sitting underneath a tree for a while. They just brought it in. It's covered in ice. It's pretty cold out here this morning. So looks like to me like clear coat's seen better days. So what I'm gonna do to this, I'm gonna obviously clean it all up. I'm gonna wash it, get it all cleaned up. I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna blow all the clear off that I can get just to get it off there. And then I'll go through and I'm gonna start sanding this thing down. I'll get it all taped off. I'll start sanding it down. I'll get it prepped and ready. Then what I'm gonna do is I've got some sealer, and I'll go through all the product here in just a little bit. I'll sit down and actually do an unbox of the product that they sent me for this. I'm gonna seal it completely, let that flash off, and then I'm gonna hit it with the base, and then I'm gonna put 2 coats of clear on it. Boy, this is making it easy. Look at the texture on this thing. That is so bizarre. I wonder if that's a chemical reaction. If you've seen this before, please comment and let me know. Because if you just look at the texture, the weird, like crystallizing almost effect that whatever, when they put that clear on there, it had on that base coat. So one of the things that I was doing, obviously, when I was blowing this clear off, if you blow it at an angle like this, it doesn't seem to want to come off. But if you point straight down, if that air gets up underneath this thing, and it just starts taking it off. So what I'm using is my Milwaukee DA sander. It's the 3/16 cordless. If you guys don't have any of these, I highly recommend. I have it actually the 3/16 and the 3/32. So I'm using a 320 paper because this thing has got a lot of stuff that I got to take down flat. It's got some clear left over, and I want to get that all the way off of there. So once I get done with the 320, I actually run 400 around it because I am going to seal this. And so I should be able to cover up all the scratches with the sealer that I'm using. Okay, so interesting story. So Jeff Dolans is the owner of Auto Paint HQ. And I got to talk to him and actually ask kind of what his story is. You know, I've been in business for 25 years on my own, in the machining business, amongst other things. And always like to hear what other business owners, what their story is. And so anyways, yeah, so like in 1993, roughly, around 18 years old, he just graduated high school. and he created his first paint product. And of course, he took it to a trade show or whatever, and sold it off end of just a borrowed table, and that's kind of what started his whole career. Then he basically started developing product and taking that product around to different body shops in the St. Louis, Missouri area. So mainly focused on the PPG line, and I think that's what I mentioned in my other video the other day, is that I knew he had something to do with PPG. And then he noticed, obviously there was some holes to fill and everything else, so he started creating his own products. And it was kind of funny, at a young age, all the body shops, they called him the mad scientist. That's kind of like a nickname he got. But anyways, great people. They do a great job, and that was one of the reasons why he started this company, was because he felt like there was a lot of people that were buying paint but didn't have the instructions or the help or even the ability to reach out to anybody. So he decided to go ahead and start this company and provide the help, assistance, and everything, especially for the DIY guys, and even some of the shops. A lot of these shops, they have paint reps that come in, but they're maybe not accessible or whatever, and they maybe have odd questions. Somebody has an odd question and maybe they can't get the answer for them. So anyway, so Jeff decided, I believe it was in 2018, to start Auto Paint HQ. And I guess it's done really well. I started using their paint about a year ago. I've used other people's paint also, many other people's paint, and I just keep on getting drawn back to this. Whenever I've done a car using their product, I've really not had any issues. Now, I haven't used their clear. Full transparency, this will be the first time I use their clear. But their base coats are amazing. It almost makes it too easy for anybody to be able to paint. I'm pretty finicky as far as my prep work, because I know that, obviously the devil's in the details when it comes to doing the prep work. So, maybe that's why I've had really good success with this product. But I do believe that this product, there's something about it, comes from years and years of experience of answering the phone, trying to, service these customers, troubleshoot whenever people had problems, listening to the customers, finding out if there's tweaks or things they need to change, and working with the customers to make those tweaks and changes. So I'm really excited to introduce you guys to Auto Paint HQ. If you haven't used them, it's autopainthq.com. If you call in there, you can talk to David. He's super, super helpful. I think you can probably get a hold of Jeff too. But if you've got any questions, you can always reach out to him on the website also. But I'm going to kind of exclusively use their product. I feel like, why change something that you're having really good success with? And these guys I've asked for, help and assistance on, like, hey, how do I do this? What would you recommend for this? And man, they have an answer for me every time. So, the fact is, if you order anything over $75, it's free shipping. So you can't complain. And, when you order, some of these gallons, a gallon of paint probably weighs 8 or 9 pounds. And, you get a gallon reducer, shipping is not cheap. Plus all these goodies that they give you, the paint cups and the mixing sticks and the filters and the strainers. You always get some goodies too, like a couple pens and maybe a bottle opener or whatever, and a sticker. I've got a whole bunch of the stickers stuck everywhere in my shop. So anyways, reach out to them. They'll help you out. Okay, I wanted to show you how this stuff comes in. So Auto Paint HQ sent me this so I can get this topper painted. And I will show you, the other day this came in. This is the Sure Seal white 2K urethane primer sealer. It's a 4-to-1 mix ratio. Obviously, it gives you all the instructions. So when this came in the other day, obviously you get your activator, and then all of the everything, when they send it to you, it always comes with the instructions. So we're obviously going to use this as a sealer. So Now I probably am going to thin this out a little bit. They sent me a urethane reducer, a slow reducer. I'm probably going to use that. I always thin out my sealers even more. I like it to lay out really, really flat. So I'm going to try this for the first time. I'm pretty excited about trying it. So I'll end up mixing that. I'm going to seal that topper with that first. But then obviously when you get product from them, this is how it comes in. Everything's packed really good. They always throw you in some goodies, a sticker, pen, a little bottle, can opener. Everything's packed really well. They always give you, they give you like a plethora of mixing cups, a couple mixing cups, a whole bunch of strainers. Always end up getting a ton of mixing sticks, which is nice. It seems like you never have too many of those. So set that off to the side. This is the super wet show clear coats, 4-to-1 mix ratio. This is something I've been looking forward to trying. So this is what I'm going to use on this topper. Obviously comes with more mixing cups here and the super wet show slow hardener, which is good because that slow will keep you from getting dry spots. When that overspray lands in the other, other areas that you've already clear coated. If it's, if you're using a slow hardener, it will let that kind of absorb in. If you're using fast, man, it just blows around the corner and leaves a dry spot. So I'm looking forward to that. This is the color. So I got a quart of this. Actually, this will be 2 quarts sprayable by the time I reduce it. I'll end up using the slow reducer, which is right here. Universal urethane reducer in slow. And then there again, they send you instructions. So this is for the base coat. And then they also sent me instructions for the clear coat. So yeah, so I'm going to start shaking this stuff up, getting it ready. I've got the topper ready to go. So let's get it in the booth and get it tacked off and spray with a sealer. Okay, one of the things that I always do is I always vacuum out the booth before I spray, and as you can see, the topper is actually already in the booth. That's because I had an employee stop by earlier and he was only here for a few minutes, and I asked him to help me carry it into the booth. Obviously, I had not vacuumed yet, so not a big deal. You can get away with this. I'm using pig mat in my booth and it works pretty well. Seems to be like one of the best products that I've used for this. Once I get it vacuumed out, I'll take some Like 90. It's a dust control, particle control fluid. Yeah, I'll load it in my Milwaukee sprayer. It's an electric sprayer that I saw used on another channel, and spray the carpet down. It keeps the dust at a minimum. Okay, now that I got the booth all cleaned up, one thing I always try to do is just anything that's in the booth that doesn't need to be in the booth, I try to get out of here. It's just one less thing to trip over. I always end up pulling the hose out, wiping the hose down pretty good. A lot of guys, I've had a couple guys comment to me that they thought this was kind of weird that I've got a roller in here or a hose reel. I think it works pretty good because when I want to clean up and stuff, I don't have to worry about hanging a hose on the wall. I only pull out what I need. So if I'm like doing a small job like this, I'll just pull out just enough that I need to get around it. Unfortunately, I did one of the problems with this booth, I wish it was a little bit bigger. This booth is not really made for like doing big trucks. I mean, you can get an F-150, F-250 in here. It'd be a little bit cramped, but you can't really get a car in here and like a bumper cover or the doors. So I did do that London Taxi. I was pretty frustrated with myself because I did a overall and I jammed it all out, but I did it without removing the doors. Every other car I've ever done where I've done a full on, where I've jammed it out, I always end up doing the doors separately. So I painted that black, and here, just like an idiot, when I open the doors up just to paint the edges, you know, you can see I got my booth pretty nasty. So when I first got this booth, what I should have done is I should have bought that booth skin, the stuff that you can spray the booth with, that you can peel off. I will probably eventually clean all that up, sand it, and then I'll end up doing that. Or I'll just wait until it gets bad enough and then I'll just kind of repaint the walls. So, but yeah, so I'm gonna get started on this thing. We actually have to, my wife and I are going out to dinner with friends tonight. When we get back, I'll probably jump in the booth. Everybody will get settled in for the night. I'll come out here and I'll finish this thing up. So I really want to surprise Jim with this soon, because I know he's really looking forward to it. He really loves his truck and he misses his topper. He used to have he drove the old truck with a topper for the longest time, and he bought him a nice step side. It's an older truck, it's an 03, but it's a really, really nice truck. And he's looking forward, because he hunts and everything else, and it's nice to put his gear in it. He's really looking forward to getting this thing on here. I know he's been looking forever, and when he finally found his topper, he was so excited to let me know that he found one. So yeah, any questions you guys have? Again, like I said in my first video, I'm not an expert, I'm a novice. Only been painting for about a year. Love to paint, absolutely obsessed with it. It is literally like therapy for me. Some guys they watch sports, some guys, you know, run, or they exercise, they work out. That's kind of a stress relief. This is mine. This is like my, I don't even want to call it a lab, studio, whatever you want to call it. This is what I love to do. Okay, so I got the topper in the booth and got it all set up. So I'm gonna finish taping it off. I'm gonna put some skirts around it, obviously, to keep the paint from blowing in. Up underneath of it, the topper does have cloth on the inside of it, like a carpeted walls. So one of the things I was going to talk about is the different type of tape that I use. I've been using this orange Q1 tape. This stuff is absolutely great. I used to fight tape all the time. I had to run a town. I didn't grabbing this kind, grabbing that kind, and I just went out and obviously started asking people that do this for a living. And I think I saw Ollie Paints had this tape on and was kind of raving about it. So I ordered a case of it, and I'm on my second case now. So obviously it worked out really well. This stuff just does not give us fits. So I'm going to get this thing taped off, and then I'm gonna get a coat of sealer on it. We have our family coming over for Thanksgiving today, so I'm gonna try to sneak a coat of sealer on it before everybody gets here. And then once we're done with that, I'm gonna come back out and get the base and the clear put on it, so. You just put this on there and let it sit for just a minute or so. I guess the whole concept behind that is that lets the foaming glass cleaner kind of pull the dust out. I've seen foaming degreaser, that's kind of the whole concept behind it too, so. Let that sit for a minute. Wipe it down with microfibers. I don't get real aggressive when I'm wiping it down. That's out of habit, because I used to not have a static gun. And when you rub this thing quickly, it's like a balloon on your hair. You want to stick it to the ceiling, you rub it on your hair fast. So it's just out of habit. I've got an anti-static gun now, which usually it'll keep that static right off that panel. But kind of a creature of habit. Might be changing things around a little bit, but doing something a certain way. But I always find that's kind of to a fault, really, because if you aren't willing to try different things, then you'll really never learn anything with it. So I've already cleaned it with Prep Sol, wax and grease remover. I did that actually before I moved it into the booth. What I'm looking for is just the different color. You can see there's obviously I picked up quite a bit of stuff. I might even do this more than once. Probably not, because I'll end up blowing this off with a static gun. This is the sealer that I'm going to be using. It's a white Sure Seal 2K urethane primer sealer, and this is the Sure Seal urethane primer sealer. This is the activator. So I'm going to look at the sheet and see what the mix ratio is, and it's 4-to-1 mix ratio, obviously. That's fine, but I'm also going to probably thin it out a little bit with the slow reducer. I do that for 2 reasons. It makes it a little bit thinner. I'm going to be spraying it out of a 1.3 nozzle, this Iwata wider 4L. I sprayed with this gun the first time when I did that Porsche Cayenne, and I really liked it. I used it for the sealer, and I used it for the base coat. I always like to keep my stuff nice and clean. I just kind of double these up and just keep on doubling them up until they get too thick to where the little gate won't close, and then I rip them all off. The only reason why I do this, I just like to kind of keep my stuff clean. There's no reason. I mean, I understand it's all gonna get paint on it, but you know, just like even my paint suit, I'll eventually replace it. I'll eventually sand this thing down and paint it, but this was given to me as a gift from my son-in-law who builds these. It works really good for mixing paint. You know, it gets it up a little bit higher off the table, so I really like it. Let's see. Let's put one of these on it. You know, I strain all my stuff, so I don't so much worry about getting this paint to break loose. It doesn't really matter, quite frankly. I've been using these little lids like this. I got them from, I think I got them from Amazon. They seem to work pretty good. I don't trust them to come off when I'm pouring, so I always put them on like that where they're snapped on, and then I will run tape around them. 2 reasons basically: I don't want it coming off when I'm trying to pour something that would be a huge mess, and secondly, I think it seals it up better because I will leave this on this paint can until it is empty, and then I'll just throw it up in the cabinet until I need it again. And like I said, it'll build up. Eventually I'll probably clean these things. They're not super cheap, that's why I don't just throw them away, but like I said, I strain all my stuff anyway, so, or I've got the strainers. The PPS cups have strainers in them. So get some new tack cloths. Never used these before. This brand, Surgical Blue. Those came recommended by another guy that I know. So I'm going to try it. Looks like a pretty interesting cat cloth. It says it doesn't leave any residue behind, so we'll see if that's the case.
You know, did I expect anything different from the sealer that I see from their base coats? No, you proved me right. This almost went down like their base goes down. Obviously, this is the first time I've used this slow reducer. I don't really think I needed to reduce it. I did. It is laying out extremely flat. It's starting to turn that little satin texture. I don't see any texture at all. Completely smooth. I don't see any harsh feel whatsoever. So, I'm going to let this splash off for a little while. Give it maybe 10-15 minutes. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit the base. And then we'll go from there. I'm going to use the same gun, get that gun cleaned up real quick. And then I'm going to come back in and hit it with the base.
Okay, so I'm gonna mix up this super wet show clear coat. I'm excited about using this. So, my first time using this clear coat. So I'm gonna blow probably 2 full 850 milliliters. It mixes 4-to-1. So what I did was took 850 divided by 5 parts, because it'll be 4 parts clear coat, 1 part activator. So that works out to be 680. So about right there, and then the rest will be up to the 850. I'm thinking this is going to be pretty nice, because that's actually a show, the super wet show slow hardener. Everything else I've gotten in the past I've been using has been like a medium. Actually did one with a fast, and I really wasn't too happy with the results from that, but it's okay. Live and learn. Okay, so I got a decent first coat on it. We're gonna let that get sticky. Come back in about 10-15 minutes and put a second coat on it. So, you know, you don't want to ever get too discouraged. You know, I see a little bit of dry spots there. That's okay. I'd rather it be like sticky, like that it wants to take another coat, and then we can really hammer the clear on it. And man, it's gonna look nice. That color is really nice. And boy, it sure changed with the clear coat on it. Looks really good. This thing's gonna look really nice when I hammer that second coat on it. And I am gonna hammer it on there. It's smoothing out, flowing out really nice. A few little specks of things in it, that's okay. Like I said, the
Parts that matter are going to be the eye level stuff. The roof looks great too. I mean, it does look good. You know, you always see everything in the booth, and I see everything standing right here. But that second coat, when I lay it on, I'm going to hammer it on pretty good. And so any of these little tiny dust nibs like this, just a few of them out there, those things will get buried in that second coat of clear. For the most part. Maybe the bigger ones you might be able to see, but I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with the way it's flowing out, and actually any of the dry overspray looks to me like it's definitely the clear coat is absorbing that dryness, so it's kind of melting together, which is what it's supposed to do. So yeah, really pretty color. I like it.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? To fight, to die on, and this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done, but what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, and we all got dreams.
I think that's looking pretty good. It's like glass. Look at them lights. Hello. Okay, so I think he's going to be pretty happy. Not really sure what more I could do to this thing, but I think it looks really good. That clear that I'm using from Auto Paint HQ, man, I think it's the ticket. And I don't see any dry edges. I don't see any dry overspray. This is a pretty big piece. It's not the most exciting piece in the world. You know, it's just a topper for a truck. It's pretty special to me for the guy that it's for. So he's going to be tickled to death. I think it worked out amazing. All right. So here we go. Looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. This color is actually pretty nice.
Not a color that I would pick for anything that I was going to paint, but it's a good color. You know, it's an early 2000s color. They had some pretty colors back then, but it did lay out really, really, really smooth. You know, I still see that spot right there. That really bugs me. Who knows, man? I might fix that. He's not going to let me fix it, but it looks pretty good. So, you know, it's a factory paint on his truck, so I want to leave everything kind of like what would a factory finish would be. So I think this is going to look really good. Like I told him, I sent him a little video. I said, hey buddy, I think you're going to want to maybe paint the rest of your truck. So I'm going to let it sit overnight. I'll come back. There's no issues with it potentially bridging or anything like that. These windows are all offset from the topper itself. The seal is just the way they're designed. Yeah, another one down in the books. So this was not a real hard job, but I wanted to make sure it looked good, and compared to what it looked like before, you guys saw that, it's gonna look good on his truck, and it gives him what he wants. He wanted a topper on his truck, so I'm sure he'll be throwing his hunting gear in this thing still yet this year. So appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna get everything cleaned up, get this wrapped up. Next time you see me, I'll be giving this back to Jim, hopefully just installing it on his truck. Okay, Senor Jim is here to collect his hopper. Yeah, hot rod. All right, let's go see it.
Okay. Look at that thing. Holy mackerel.
Now the tape peeled back right there. I'm gonna touch that up a little bit.
Yeah.
But you're never gonna see that. It's gonna be up against the.
It'll be covered.
Like I said, I think you might want to paint your whole truck.
I was going to say, that is beautiful. That is beautiful.
You happy?
Wow. Oh, yeah.
So we'll get it set on, and then we'll put the glass on it.
Okay.
But
That looks great.
it matches. I think it matches.
I think it does too.
I think it matches what it looked like when it was new.
Yeah. It's probably faded a little bit.
Well, I
I
think
want to wipe that rail off before I put that.
you got some foam and stuff to put down.
Yeah. I want to wipe that off really good with some.
What do you think?
Oh, I don't want to touch it. I don't.
No, it's you can go scratch it. This
I
stuff's
don't want
durable.
to scratch that, baby. Oh, that's gonna look great on here. That is wonderful. Wow.
Well, I want to make sure you're happy with it.
Well, heck yes, I'm happy.
You do it enough for us, and I wanted to bless you with this. So I sure appreciate you. So
I could get carried in here.
Lenny helped me.
Oh.
Yep. So we'll get it carried out, and let's get that wiped down. And
Well, you want to wipe it down first?
yeah, we'll wipe it down first, get it all ready, and then we'll just carry this in there. So
Okay.
all right. As you can see, Jim was really happy with how this thing turned out. You know, he's such a great guy, and he's just been around for us for anytime we've ever needed him. So I think this topper is going to live on probably longer than that truck does. But that'll be okay, because when he gets another truck and he needs another topper done, I'll absolutely 100% do that for him. So hope you enjoyed watching the video and to see the transformation that we made of it. Like I said, I know this isn't a real exciting project. It's a topper for an old pickup truck. But again, it's something I wanted to do, and it's something I wanted to share with him. This is what makes it all worthwhile, and this is what I really enjoy doing. So God bless. We'll catch you on the next one.